right. If you would, I will now call the June 22nd, 2026 Erlanger Board of Adjustment hearing to order, and we will take a roll call to determine if we have a quorum. Mr. John McVeigh.
Present.
Mr. Eric Rolfe.
Present.
And Mr. Bob Whalen present. There's three of us, so we do have a quorum. Gentlemen, you received a copy of the minutes for the February 23rd, 2026 Board of Adjustment meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to be made at this time?
None.
None.
None either. And seeing none, I entertain a motion that the minutes be adopted as presented.
I adopt.
And I will go ahead and second. And those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, being none, minutes are approved. All right. All right, and staff, are there any postponements of any scheduled business items to be made at this time?
Not at this time, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. All right, and before we open the public hearing portion of today's meeting, I just want to review the public hearing procedures. First, we will hear from PDS staff, a member who will present their report, and then we will hear from the applicant themselves regarding their request, and then we will hear from the public. And in order, it will be those in favor of the request, those opposed to the request, and those neutral to the request. Please note that is the only time that the public is allowed to speak. It is not a back and forth. It is not an engagement, question and answer, shouting out from the crowd. After the public has a chance, the applicant will, if they choose so, have the opportunity to address and clarify any questions or concerns that they have before we close the public comments, to move on to the discussion amongst the board members. And the board may choose to ask PDS or the applicant any further questions or clarifications if desired. Then the board will take a vote on the matter and their final ruling will be made. Should there be a tie in the vote, the request is considered dead, and if the board chooses, another motion can be made at that point, but with three of us, I don't think that's going to happen tonight. So I will go ahead and open the public hearing where we have two items on this evening's agenda. And I have the following people signed in. I just want to identify, or should I say confirm, the topics you're here to talk about. Kayla Rodenberg, obviously applicant for number one. Then we have Sam and Tina Newman, applicant for number two. And then I can't read the handwriting. Is it Mike Rupert? Is that correct, Rupert? And what are you for? Are they on the Avery Signs, KEB Real Estate? Okay. And are you for, against, and neutral? For. Okay. All right, and again, to confirm, that's everybody I have listed to speak. Anybody else want to speak? Speak now, forever hold your peace. Okay. All right. So the first item this evening's public hearing adjustment is, let me get to it, BOA-26-0009, 3140 Dixie Highway, applicant Avery Signs, acting on behalf of KEB Real Estate Holdings, LLC. The request is a variance request from the Erlanger zoning ordinance for a property located at 3140 Dixie Highway in Erlanger. In summary, the applicant is seeking to exceed the maximum allowable size for a detached principal sign in the community commercial zone. While the zoning ordinance permits a maximum of 25 square feet for such signage, the applicant is proposing to install a new sign measuring 59.4 square feet, more than double the permitted size. The proposed sign would replace an existing 25 square foot detached principal sign currently on the site and would be installed in the same location. And first we have Ms. Barber, is that correct? Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
Good, do you have a report to present first so I can put it in?
Yes, we do.
Sure, go ahead, bring it up if you would, please.
With me this evening is Connor Hanna. He's our intern this semester from UC. He's an undergraduate planning student, and he's going to be presenting the issue this evening.
All right, and for the record, this is marked as Exhibit D into the record. And, all right, Ms. Barber, were the appropriate notifications made? Or, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yes, they were. Connor. Sorry. And to all board members, any conflicts of interest?
No.
Nope.
Being none. To all board members, were there any site visits to declare?
No.
Nope.
None. And Connor, I will need to swear you in, so if you would please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you very much. And for the record, would you please state your full name and your position with staff?
Yeah, I'm Connor Hanna, and I'm the summer planning intern with BDS.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Go ahead.
All right. As was stated, the applicant is requesting a variance to increase the size of a detached principal sign permitted in the community commercial zone of the Erlanger zoning ordinance. The subject site is located on the north side of Dixie Highway at 3140 in Erlanger, approximately 250 feet west of the intersection of Montgomery Drive and Dixie Highway, where the municipal border with Edgewood lies. It is an outparcel located to the front of an existing Kroger store. The site is just under a half acre in size, and it is the former site of the Colonial Cottage restaurant and is currently occupied and in use as a Jimmy John's. The site is Zone CC, which is the community commercial zone. The surrounding adjacent properties are all also under this zoning classification. Existing land use is commercial as well. All the surrounding land uses are either commercial or office. And the site in question did have a previous Board of Adjustment denial for a request to increase the number of permitted wall signs per building street frontage, as well as variance requests to increase the total area for wall signs on the south, west, and north elevations in the CC zone of the Erlanger zoning ordinance under BOA 240005. The Erlanger zoning ordinance permits one detached principal sign per street frontage to a maximum area of 25 square feet for this property. Again, the proposed sign will be 59.4 square feet or 92.5 by 92.5 inches, where a maximum of 25 square feet signs are permitted, and the existing sign structure and location will remain. Here you can see the existing site layout. The plan indicates in red the existing detached principal sign, which sits 15 feet from the right-of-way, and the proposed replacement will remain in the same location. Here's a photo of the existing sign submitted by the applicant. And then here's an elevation showing the proposed replacement sign as well as the existing sign for reference. Again, the existing sign is 25 square feet. The proposed sign is 59.4 square feet. For context, here is the view of the front of the site, west down Dixie Highway. You can see the White Castle sign just barely there behind that telephone pole, which is conforming, and then others like the Supercuts Metro Skyline sign, which are likely non-conforming. And facing the opposite direction, looking down east, you can see large non-conforming signs for the Erlanger Town Center to the right, as well as the McDonald's further down to the left, as well as the likely conforming signs such as the Huntington Bank and Mike's Car Wash signs. And I'll notice the Huntington sign is in Edgewood. Here's the front view of the site from Dixie Highway. Again, you can see the current sign. And here are close-ups of existing nearby signs along Dixie Highway. The two on the left are likely conforming to show you a reference to the size, and the two on the right are likely legal non-conforming signs that predate the ordinance. So before any variance is granted, the board must find that the variance will not adversely affect the public health, safety, or welfare, will not alter the character of the vicinity, will not cause a hazard or nuisance, and will not allow an unreasonable circumvention of the zoning ordinance. In making these determinations, the board shall consider whether, if there are special circumstances, staff finds no, the requested variance does not arise from special circumstances which do not generally apply to other properties in the area. Although many older signs do not conform to the zoning ordinance, newer signs in the area do conform to this ordinance's size restrictions. If the strict application of the provisions would deprive the applicant of reasonable use or create an unnecessary hardship, again, staff finds no, that the strict application of the provisions of the regulation would not deprive the applicant of the reasonable use of the land. The applicant can reasonably conduct business under the existing signage requirements of the zoning ordinance. And finally, are the circumstances the result of actions taken by the applicant? Staff finds no, the application was not taken as a result of actions by the applicant. The applicant identified the need for the variance during the normal permitting process. So as a result, staff is providing an unfavorable recommendation on the variance request. Although the variance request will not adversely affect the public health, safety, or welfare, affect the essential character of the general vicinity, cause a hazard or nuisance to the public, it would allow an unreasonable circumvention of the zoning ordinance, which allows for detached principal signs of up to 25 square feet or the size of the existing sign. This portion of Dixie Highway located along, or in Erlanger along their community commercial district features a variety of signage types, including different aesthetics, heights, and sizes. However, newer conforming signs located within this corridor of the Erlanger community commercial zone generally feature much shorter poles, making the 25 square foot detached principal sign more proportional to the overall height of the existing sign. And additional information, if approved, building and zoning permits will be required. Any questions?
Thank you very much. Any questions for staff?
You have indicated about the pole. I mean, are you stating that if the pole was less than whatever it currently is, then this would be conforming? Does that make sense?
The existing sign is conforming. It's exactly to the maximum. If I go back to the picture.
Right,
Oops. We allow up to a 30-foot high sign with a 25 square foot.
But you're saying if this was approved for the 25, for the additional square feet, that would be up a lot higher than what they're currently showing now, is that correct?
Yeah, they would need to have a shorter pole with that sign because it would be larger to not exceed the maximum height.
Okay, okay.
Great. Anything else?
No, not at this point.
Good. Good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll now hear from the applicant, Kayla Rodenberg. And Ms. Rodenberg, I will need to swear you in as well. If you're lit red, then you're live. There you go.
Okay,
All right,
perfect.
if you would, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you very much. And for the record, would you please state your full name and your address?
Okay, so my name is Kayla Rodenberg. I'm with Alvey Signs. We are located at 13100 Highway 57 North in Evansville, Indiana. I am the permits administrator for them, so I do this regularly, travel around and plead my case. I would like to talk about the pole height. Because actually it would still be the same size if you look at I don't know if you have any of this paperwork, but we would essentially be taking out that pole and putting a new pole in with a wind-bearing pole that would be able to hold that sign, but it would still be that exact same height.
So just to confirm, you're saying the height is the pole plus the sign. That's the same height?
Yes,
Gotcha. Thank you.
it would remain 30 feet.
Anything else you'd like to add?
Also, we would be making sure that it would be deep enough. We would be digging 5 feet 9 inches. We would essentially have to kind of push it towards that curb and widen the curb a little bit, just so there wouldn't be any issues. I guess it's on the other side of that car. You can't really see where the curb kind of comes in, but yeah.
You're saying in order to change that pole, you're going to have to do a lot more digging and so forth, or is it going to go exactly where the sign is now?
It's going to go exactly where it is, but that pole itself is wider,
Okay.
so it's going to take up a little bit more room on that sidewalk.
Anything else you'd like to add?
No?
That's good.
Is there any questions?
Yep. Any questions for Mr. Rodenberg? Being none, thank you.
All right.
We'll now hear from the other proponent, Mike Rupert. If you would, and please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you very much. And for the record, please state your full name and your address.
Michael Rupert, and it's 1394 Poplar Tree Place, Independence, Kentucky.
Go ahead.
So with the signage on this building, there's been gone through a lot getting this building together. Taking what was there previously, Dairy Queen looks nice right up the road, that new build. This looks nice. It really brightened up the area. And if anybody drives down, the pictures I feel like are slightly deceive that when you're driving down the road. This sign right here, if you drove down the road, you can't see it. Like, it's not even there. If I said, has anybody seen it? It's probably no, just because it's, once you go 30 feet, it's a total different square footage. It's 30 feet, that 25 square foot at 30 feet looks like it's just a little box up there. It looks smaller than one of those, it's just smaller than a window. But now if that pole was down 10 feet, that sign would look a lot larger. But you're also competing coming down that road with the large building there with Mike's Car Wash, who went out to the road with a big wall, and then their sign goes up so much higher. So that sign, although the 24 square feet, I think that, in my opinion, the 25 square foot would be a great thing to say, hey, but if you, at certain heights, you're going to have to be larger with your square footage per square foot of your area, just to make them recognizable. And that's, I think at that height, when you talk about 59 square feet, at that height still looks like a small sign. So 25 square foot, if we were to have it on the ground right here, would look like a nice size sign. But the higher you go up, the less square footage looks like it's even smaller and smaller. So my opinion as moving forward is maybe that's one of the things, is they look at, hey, your sign height per square foot. But yes, so it's as we go into this variance discussion, it's not something that was looked at ill-heartedly or looked at like it was trying to do this or that, because there's a lot of money involved in making a larger sign to have this location be productive location for us.
Thank you. Anything else you'd like to add?
Nope, that's
Any questions for Mr. Rupert? No. Be none. Thank you. I'll give, staff likes to come on up.
Do I need to swear in?
No, you just state your name one more time for the record and you're good.
Kayla Barber, Associate Planner with PDS staff. Just wanted to provide a little clarification. In the plans we submitted, the sign height was indicated total as 30 feet overall. We were commenting more on the aesthetics. I agree there is a lot of visual chaos down that stretch of Dixie Highway. There's been a lot of changes to what is conforming over the years. It is on the boundary of Edgewood. And part of the reason that it may be difficult to see one sign over another is, there isn't really a strong sense of continuity right there. There are a lot of different sign sizes, heights, types, and we feel that adhering to the zoning ordinance to hopefully over time establish a more regular feel for, what the visual aesthetic would be like there would hopefully actually improve visibility, rather than, many different sign types and sizes and heights. Having something uniform that is to code might actually improve. Also, you do have some options, I think, with some detached directory signs as well, which I spoke with Kayla about. So there are some other avenues to explore other than just increasing the size overall. Thank you.
Gotcha. Thank you. If the applicant, you have anything else, clarification, comments, anything else you'd like to add or say? You don't have to. It's just your opportunity to speak back if you so choose. You're good. She concurs. Okay. All right. With that, I'm now closing the public comment portion of the hearing, and we'll open the discussion to the board members. Any discussion to be had?
When did there were so many different signs down through that way. When was it changed to where this would be not permitted?
That would be a question for staff. Do you know that answer, or when the change occurred?
When the new ordinance was adopted.
When was that, do you recall?
Would you mind stepping to the microphone just to capture it? Thank you.
I believe it was last year sometime that the new ordinance was adopted with the new, and over time, unfortunately, we don't have a ton of information about the signs over the years. I do know Edgewood, very close by, has considerably larger standards for the signs. So that is, a little bit deceiving from the photos, and from the vehicle, it is kind of hard to capture them, unless you're standing still. But in the vicinity, there were several other businesses who have newer signs. Offhand, I can think of the Chipotle. I did a site visit and drove and took some of these pictures myself. The Donato's sign, and as mentioned, the pole is much shorter. And in the new zoning ordinance, while the sign size square footage may have changed, it doesn't seem like perhaps the pole height did. So the old regulation, of 30 feet tall is still applicable, I believe, and that does impact things visually. So that might be why it seems a little off compared to some of the other newer signs that have a conforming pole as well, since this was, I believe, the existing.
If I read you correctly, are you saying that if that pole was reduced, it would be conforming?
It's conforming now.
No, I'm saying with the new sign.
No.
With the new bigger sign, he's asking if what they're asking for is a 30-foot overall height with a larger sign. If they just shrunk it a little bit, would it still be conforming with the larger sign, or is it the sign, is that the issue?
Yeah, they're two different measurements. The sign height overall, maximum of 30 feet, which they're meeting now, and the new proposed sign also meets. They're really just wanting to change the square actual signage itself, doubling it, which it would still be the same height, just the sign, the pole would be shorter. I can't attest to the past other signs in the area, though, like when they may have changed. Unfortunately, there's quite a few in there, but I know it seems about a year and a half now this has been the standard for this zone.
Let me jump in there. This actually was all part of Z21. So I think during the Z21 process, the goal for cities that adopted Z21, and I think most municipalities in Kenton County have or did at some point, was to have a little bit more unification on all of these types of things, such as sign sizes, so that you don't have, like Dixie Highway, where you have, 5 or 6 municipalities all within 4 miles of each other. So Erlanger adopted that actually in 2021. So I think the current sign regulations have been since 2021.
Thank you for clarifying. Appreciate
Thank you,
that.
Jack. Yeah, that was my understanding, is that it's been in place for a number of years. So any other questions or things to talk about? And again, keeping in mind that what we're looking at, we have to keep in mind KRS 100-243 before any variance is granted. And there's really 3 questions that I've looked heavily at. Does the requested variance arise from special circumstances which do not generally apply to the land and the general vicinity? I agree with staff. I don't think there is. The second, the strict application of the provisions of the regulation would deprive the applicant of reasonable use of the land or would create an unnecessary hardship. And again, I agree with staff on that it would not deprive the applicant. And the third being the circumstances are the result of actions of the applicant taken subsequent to the adoption of the zoning regulation. And again, staff did not find the result that the need for the variance was identified during the normal permitting process. So I tend to agree with staff on this one. Any other comments? All right, I will now close the discussion by the board members and invite any board member to make a motion. I would like to make the following motion on file BOA-26-0009. The variance request from the Erlanger zoning ordinance for a property located at 3140 Dixie Highway in Erlanger. The applicant seeks to exceed the maximum allowable size for the detached principal sign in the community commercial zone, while the zoning ordinance permits a maximum of 25 square feet for such signage. The applicant is proposing to install a new sign measuring 59.4 square feet, more than double the permitted size. The proposed sign would be replacing an existing 25 square foot detached principal sign currently on the site and would be installed in the same location. I move to deny the variance based on the facts and considerations contained in the staff report and the testimony of staff and witness present at the public hearing. And for the reason that I find the proposed variance does not meet the criteria for granting a variance under KRS 100-243, by finding that the variance will allow an unreasonable circumvention of the requirements of the zoning regulations. So to confirm, the request on the table is to deny the applicant's request. made by myself, and do we have a second?
Yeah, second.
Seconded by John McVeigh. And I'll go ahead and take a roll call vote. Bob Whalen, yes. Mr. McVeigh
Yes.
and Mr. Rolfe.
Yes.
All right, 3-0, the motion is denied. Next up on the agenda is BOA-26-0013, 1309 Thorntree Drive, applicants Sam and Christina Newman. They request a conditional use permit for their property located at 1309 Thorntree Drive in Erlanger. The applicant seeks approval to operate an owner-occupied short-term rental unit, commonly known as an Airbnb, within the residential conventional subdivision zone as governed by the Erlanger zoning ordinance. As the owners of the property, the Newmans would reside on site while making the unit available for short-term rental guests.
Thank you. I would like to submit the following materials, which were submitted electronically for the record.
Yep, Mr. Sheets, thank you very much. Sorry, I'm getting my paperwork in order here. Thank you. All right, and Mr. Sheets has presented his report, which will be Exhibit E for the record. All right, and Mr. Sheets, were the appropriate notifications made?
Notifications were made per KRS 100.
Thank you very much. And to all board members, are there any conflicts of interest?
None.
There being none. And to all board members, any site visits to declare?
No.
Nope.
There are none as well. All right, and Mr. Sheets, if you would, I need to swear you in. Will you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you very much. And for the record, please state your name and your position with staff.
My name is Cody Sheets, Principal Planner with PDS staff.
Go ahead. Thank you.
Sorry. Yeah, so as the chair stated, this is a request for a conditional use permit to allow an owner-occupied short-term rental within the RCVS or residential conventional subdivision zone of the Erlanger zoning ordinance. The applicant is proposing to establish an owner-occupied short-term rental unit, commonly referred to as an Airbnb. The site in question is located on the south side of Thorntree Drive. It's approximately 0.24 acres and is currently occupied by a single-family residential home. The surrounding area is a mixture of single-family residential homes as well as open space. Here we have a Google Street View. This is from 2024, looking at the property. The current zoning is RCVS, and the surrounding zoning is a mixture of different single-family residential zoning as well. The existing land use is single-family residential, and the surrounding area is a mixture of single-family residential as well as open space. And the applicant has submitted the following information in a letter detailing the reason for their submitted request. They would like to rent out the entire property while they are traveling. The home has 3 bedrooms and 2.5 bathrooms. It has a rental capacity of 6 adults and 4 children. Parking would be in the owner's driveway or garage. No events or parties would be permitted. There are 9 exterior security cameras on the property which were installed previously. The applicant does plan on partnering with a company that integrates with Airbnb to monitor noise levels on the property and notifies the owner if things are unnecessarily loud. And the applicant has also stated that the home would be furnished with safety equipment such as a choking rescue device, fire blanket, as well as a fire extinguisher. The Erlanger zoning ordinance defines a short-term rental as a dwelling unit or a room that is rented, leased, or assigned for a tenancy of less than 30 consecutive days in duration, and where no meals are served or prepared by the host or to any guest. The owner-operator of the short-term rental resides on the premises, and it shall not include hotel or motel rooms, extended stay lodging facilities, bed and breakfasts, or boarding or lodging. Owner-occupied short-term rentals are a conditional use within the RCVS zone. There are the following use-specific standards for short-term rentals, including that the maximum length of each stay shall be 29 days. No lease shall be less than 1 night. There shall be no external evidence of a short-term rental, and the street address shall be clearly visible from the right-of-way. Short-term rentals shall not adversely affect the character of the neighborhood, nor shall they generate noise, vibration, glare, odors, or any other effects that unreasonably interfere with any person's enjoyment of his or her own property. Short-term rentals are permitted in primary structures, and owner-occupied short-term rentals shall be clearly incidental to the primary use, and short-term rentals shall not be present in any structure that is not typically used as a residence, such as sheds, garages, barns, etc. Here we have the same image we saw before. This is the Google Street View from 2024. It is a little bit difficult to make out on this, but highlighted in red, it shows that the street address is readily visible from the right-of-way. Before any conditional use request is granted, the board must find that the plan is in compliance with KRS 100. The board shall have the power to hear and decide on applications for conditional use permits to allow the proper integration into the community of uses which are specifically named in the zoning regulations, which may be suitable in specific locations in the zone only if certain conditions are met. The board shall also have the right to compel offending structures of uses removed at the cost of the violator and may have judgments in personam for such cost. Staff is giving a favorable recommendation. We do find that the proposed owner-occupied short-term rental will provide a service including lodging and facilities which will contribute to the general well-being of the community, and the proposed use will not be detrimental to the health, safety, or welfare or injurious to property or improvements in the vicinity. The applicants have taken steps to ensure that potential issues such as parking, noise, and safety are accounted for, as well as having the ability to monitor the exterior of the property via the previously installed cameras. If the board does choose to permit the conditional use, a Kenton County business license will need to be obtained prior to operation. And KRS 100.237 states that all other state laws apply. Expanding the permit triggers a new review. So for example, if they made an addition to their house and we're still using it as an Airbnb, the board must be notified of any expansions within 14 days. And if the conditional use permit isn't used within 1 year, public hearing is required to see if it can continue as a conditional use. I'd be more than happy to take any questions.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sheets. Any questions for Cody? I think we're good. Thank you very much. Yep. Appreciate it. We'll now hear from the applicant, Sam and/or Tina Newman. You can both come up together or one at a time. It's however you like. And if you would, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you very much. And for the record, would you please both state your name and your address?
Christina Newman, 1309 Thorntree Drive.
Samuel Tyler Newman, 1309 Thorntree Drive.
Thank you very much. Go ahead.
I'm not really sure where to start. Just wanted to be available to answer your questions and see if we could hopefully get the conditional use permit. I hope you got our letter kind of introducing ourselves and telling you a little bit about our intent. We were made aware a few days ago that a neighbor of ours also wrote a letter because they weren't going to be in town to come to the meeting tonight. I haven't seen that letter, I just know that it was sent. Okay,
I do have a copy of the letter. I was going to introduce that as Exhibit F, since it is overwhelmingly for your proposal, so
Okay.
they are in favor of it, just so
We,
you know. And for the record, that is by Randall and Barbara Osborne.
Okay. No. They've been very supportive. They have been the best neighbors. I just have really enjoyed living next door to them. When we mentioned it to them, I knew immediately that they were not against it, just the way they supported us. They've done a lot of things to help along the way, but anything?
No, we just thank you very much for your consideration, and we appreciate it so much.
Great, thank you very much. Any questions for the Newmans? None. There being none, thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Cody.
All right, I will now go ahead and close the public portion of the hearing, and we'll have a discussion amongst the board members. Any discussion to have?
No.
None? I know we've been presented with one of these in the recent past. I think it was last year, and we approved it. And I know there's a lot of negative things people have to say about Airbnbs, but I think it's pretty clear you guys know the rules and what is required and how you're supposed to play, so to speak. So as long as you abide by the rules, there shouldn't be an issue. I don't think I have heard, or City, have you heard anything on our past? Nothing?
Nope.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's the only comments I have to make. Anything else? Okay, I'll go ahead and close the discussion by the board members and invite any board member to make a motion.
I would like to make the following motion with reference to file number BOA 260013. I move to approve the conditional use. I would like to make the following motion with reference to, permit to allow an owner-occupied short-term rental at 1309 Thorntree Drive within the RCVS zone of the Erlanger zoning ordinance based on the facts and considerations contained in the staff report and based on the testimony of staff and witnesses present at the public hearing.
All right, thank you very much. That motion made by Mr. Rolfe, and again, a vote of yes is in favor to pass the request as proposed, and a vote of no is to turn it down. Do we have a second?
I second.
Seconded by Mr. McVeigh. And I'll go ahead and take a roll call vote. Mr. Rolfe?
Yes.
Mr. McVeigh?
Yes.
Mr. Bob Whalen? Yes. 3-0, it passes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right, I will now go ahead and close the public hearing portion of tonight's meeting. And to staff, are there any preliminary hearings to discuss?
Not at this time, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Are there any rehearing appeals to discuss?
No.
There being none. Board members, any board items to discuss?
None.
Being none as well. Are there any staff items to discuss? None from PDS. And in the audience, anything else? Think we're good?
We do have a business license. We got one in the past. It's occupational license, so I don't know if that's the correct one or not. We may have to.
Yeah, the city's shaking their head, yes, occupational license is correct. If any questions, though, feel free to reach out to who you've been dealing with throughout the whole process, and they'll steer you in the right way. The next meeting I have scheduled next month is July 27th. Do we know if we have anything in on that agenda?
I don't think we do, Mr. Chairman. If we do, we will make sure to communicate that with you, either myself, Nick, or Sherry Hoffman.
Perfect, thank you. I will now open the floor for a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Motion by Mr. Rolfe. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. McVeigh. Those in favor? Aye. Those opposed, nay. Being none,